Have you ever had a really bad headache and thought it was a migraine? Well, yeah, a lot of people tend to mix these ones up, but they're completely different. Migraines are not just stronger headaches. They are really complex. They involve changes in how the brain functions and even how it communicates. Today, I'm going to explain how migraines develop in the body, what happens in the brain during a migraine, and why do they be so intense for many people. So, migraines are not the same as just headaches. Migraines begin with changes in brain activity. Nerve cells in the brain start sending these abnormal signals, which affects how different parts of the brain communicate with each other. At the same time, chemicals in the brain, especially serotonin, begin to change. These changes can affect how the brain processes different information and how we process pain with blood vessels. As a result, the brain becomes more sensitive to stimuli, which triggers the migraine process. Cortical spreading depression. One of the most important processes involved in a migraine is called cortical spreading depression. This may sound complicated, but it can really be understood as a wave of electrical activity that slowly moves across the brain. As this wave travels, it disrupts normal brain function, including communication between nerve cells and blood flow in certain regions. This disruption is what often leads to early migraines symptoms, especially visual changes. As these changes continues, the symptoms of migraines begin to appear. The most common symptom is pulsing, pain, sensibility to light, and even nausea, such as aura vision. What is aura vision? Aura vision is when you are starting to look at everything as it was zigzag. Triggers. There are also several triggers that can lead to a migraine. This includes stress, lack of sleep, foods, drinks, or even hormonal changes, such as for women when they enter puberty, our period starts. It can lead to migraines too. It is important to understand that triggers don't directly cause a migraine, but they can activate the process in the brain. Different people have different triggers, which means migraines can vary a lot from person to person and not necessarily is all the same for everyone. Why it matters? How many cultural awareness do we have about migraines? Migraines also affect people differently, depending on their body, their environment, or even access to care. Some individuals may experience more severe or frequent migraines, while others not much. Others may never even experience a migraine ever in their lives. In addition, access to medical treatment and diagnosis can vary across different communities or even states, which can impact how migrants are managed. And understanding these differences help us being more respectful of how this condition affects others. Migraines are much more than just headaches. They involve complex changes in brain activity, including nerve signaling, chemical shifts, and waves of electrical activity across the brain. By understanding how migraines works, we can better recognize their impact and the experience of those who have them. These are my references. Thank you.